Hello and welcome to the Leading Lounge. I'm your host, Dr. Justin Dubose. Here in the Leading Lounge, we talk with today's leaders and unpack lessons learned and being learned from a career of leading and communicating in their field. These conversations are designed to be both informal and informative, and we want to equip you with wisdom and tools to empower you as a leader where you are and where you want to be. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 52 of the Leading Lounge podcast. So great to have you join me for this episode. We're continuing, in fact, we're in the final chapter now of this great book, The Leadership Challenge, that we've been going through for multiple seasons, interspersed with interviews and other good leadership content. So final chapter, this episode and the next episode are over chapter 13, which kind of brings the whole book and all the content together. So the title of the chapter for chapter 13 is Leadership is Everyone's Business. Leadership is everyone's business. And here's the focus of today's episode is anybody can be a leader. Anybody can be a leader. And in fact, not only can anybody be a leader, but in fact, the best and most impactful and effective types of leaders are not, all the people that New York Times best-selling books are written about. The most impactful people are people like you, people who you see every day, who are in your family, who are close to you. So that's what we're going to talk about today is how one of the subheadings or subcategories in chapter 13 is exemplary leadership is local, right? You are in the perfect position to be an amazing leader where you are with the people that you are. And it just takes practice and intentionality, and it just takes time. So that's what we're talking about. So I'm going to start with a chart. It's from a survey that they did. It's on page 297 if you have the book, which, by the way, if you don't have the book, the links for the book in all of these episodes is in the show notes or the podcast description, depending on what platform you're listening on. But the question was asked, who's the best role model for leadership in your life? Who's the most effective? And they have different categories. But not surprisingly, in some ways, maybe surprisingly in others, I want you to listen to the answers. Overwhelming majority came from two categories. Best role model for leadership in your life, regardless of age, young or old. Number one, family member. A family member is far and away, by far, the most effective model for leadership. Number two, a teacher or a coach. So far, we've hit for some of these categories like 65, 70% of answers were either a family member or a teacher or coach. And then in third was a community leader or a religious leader as the best model for leadership. So here's why this matters. Exemplary leadership is local. As we've been talking now for 52 episodes about leadership, how to communicate as a leader, how to model yourself, like how to go through challenges. The best and most effective type of leaders are local. They're hands-on. They're micro, not macro, right? So some of what we as leaders struggle with is who do we pattern our leadership after? And so in your role, probably the most impactful leaders you've had have been people who have had hands-on in your life. A mother, a father, a sister, a brother, an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, grandparents, or a teacher growing up, or a coach if you played sports, someone in your community that you know and see and get to talk to, maybe a pastor or some kind of religious leader. But it's not, for most people, I mean, it's not even close. It's not a Bill Gates. It's not a Steve Jobs. It's not, generals, and it's not presidents, and it's not these figures. It's not CEOs. It's you. It's you in their lives with them every day. So that's what I want you to hear from episode 52. First of all, the best leaders are hands-on leaders. They get to see you. They get to, see how you deal with situations. They get to watch you sweat. They get to be a part of the toil and the labor. And oftentimes we can think, oh man, if I had a bigger platform, that would increase, my leadership abilities and influence and footprint. But you know what? Exemplary leadership is local. How are you leading where you are today with the team that you have? Just get up, brush your teeth, get your hands dirty in people's lives. It's going to make the most difference. By far, the most difference. Exemplary leadership is local. And here's the second part that I want you to hear that is equally important, and it's something I end up talking with clients all the time about. But part two of that, the way they phrase it this is on page 301, is learning leadership takes practice. Learning leadership takes practice. Nobody rolls out of bed a great leader. Leaders are not born. I don't care what anyone tells you. Leaders are not born. Leaders are made, right? They're forged in the fire, in the crucible of leadership experience. I was just talking with a client yesterday, and they were talking about a great leader in their life who's getting ready to transition out of a restaurant that they serve in. And they said, "Oh, I wish I could be like her." And I said, "Well, you can be like her, but you didn't get her, when she was first starting out her leadership journey. You got her after many, many crucibles, and you got the almost fully baked version of this leader. You've got to get the reps in, right? You've just got to get the reps in. The best teacher I've ever had, the best teacher any great leader has ever had is failure. It's failure. It's reps, right? It's just reps. I go through this with my kids all the time. You want to be a great athlete? You want to be a great band member? You want to be a great anything? You want to be a great runner? You want to be a great student? Whatever it is you want to be, you got to put the reps in. You got to be willing to step into the role without feeling like you're fully prepared for what it's going to require. Because great leadership just takes practice. It just takes practice. So here's what I want you to hear from episode 52. Number one, you are in the perfect position to be an amazing leader, wherever you are. The people that you can put your hands on, that you can directly influence and impact their lives. This is where you make your mark in leadership. And not only that, the number two to go with that is just keep showing up. Just keep showing up through success, through failure, through excitement, through boredom, through happiness, through sadness, all of it. Monotony, boredom, just keep showing up. Keep failing, keep learning, keep growing. Leadership is everyone's business. Leaders are not born, they are made. You are one, you can be one. If I can help you grow in your leadership, please reach out to me. Website is communicate2care.com. Email address is admin@communicate2care. Admin@communicate2care.com, but you can do it. You can be it. The best leaders are local. They're the invisible leaders that no one see. They make the biggest difference. They make the biggest impact in people's lives. Just show up, grow, fail, learn, lead. You can do it. You can do it. Keep up the great work where you are. We'll see you on episode 53.